How's it going, everybody? And the best is, the best that was, the best ever will be there, but none before me, and there'll be none after me. Therefore, I am one OJ Covey, and welcome to Wrestling Made Simple. We got an action-packed week this week with your news of the week, followed by your SmackDown Raw reviews, and then we go into a review of Survivor Series 2005. We then have a reading from your Book of Rules, followed by your Drink of the Week, and then the Battle Droid of the Week. But let's get into the news this week as who did Vince McMahon force to take steroids? Not force, but encourage. Apparently, Vince McMahon once told Ted DiBiase, Teddy, I want you to look a little more visible in the gym, and he wanted him to take... And apparently this got him a message, as he may or may not have begun taking testosterone at the time. I don't know if this is true or not, but, you know, it's definitely a funny Vince McMahon story. It definitely is a story that would have a lot of credence with what Vince McMahon has encouraged wrestlers to do in the past. We then move on to, well... sorry for your damn luck. The Cowboy James Storm apparently requested a $600 fee for OVW's for his performance in Ohio Valley Wrestling, as concerns he might not even draw 60 fans. Apparently, Storm took to Twitter saying he was filming a Netflix documentary. The travel and the hotel was paid, and it's only 2.5 hours from his house, so not bad. So, to those of you who are saying James Storm cannot pack an arena more than 60 people, bullshit. James Storm is one of the best. He is a former TNA champion, a guy who had a short but memorable run in WWE and should have had way more. This guy is a legend and should be treated as such. And finally, a former WWE World Heavyweight Champion has revealed their first appearance after being released from WWE. According to this, Dolph Ziggler will be performing at the World Wrestling Councils in Puerto Rico. He will be performing there for a show. It doesn't say when, but it's cool to see him actually have a booking after WWE. I thought he was just going to transition into comedy and retire from wrestling, but apparently not, as Dolph Ziggler will be competing in wrestling after WWE. That was one of the most shocking releases I've ever seen. I did not expect Dolph Ziggler to be released from WWE. I thought he was going to be there till the sun burned out. But it just goes to show, you're never safe in WWE. Let's move on to SmackDown, though. SmackDown kicked off with Rey Mysterio calling out Logan Paul, and then Carlito came out and said Santos Escobar was the reason he lost that match, not Logan Paul. Carlito and Santos almost got into a fight, but Santos then tried to leave. Rey Mysterio then came back and tried to talk some sense into each other. Bobby Lashley then came out and they had a match. Bobby Lashley was able to beat Carlito. The Street Profits then attacked, and Santos Escobar refused to help Carlito. Rey Mysterio came out of the steel chair, and the heels ran away. Rey and Santos had an argument, and Rey said, we are family, and he wants to keep everybody on the same page. You then had Santos go crazy, attack Rey Mysterio with the steel steps, crushing his knee. Santos is now a heel, and I guess the LWO is dissolved, as Rey Mysterio now is going to have knee surgery. We then get Dragon Lee versus Cedric Alexander in an okay match. Nothing to write home about. You know, people are saying, is Dragon Lee going to be the next Rey Mysterio? No, you know what? This is something I wanted to address. Just because they're a Latin American star doesn't mean that they're the next Rey Mysterio. Doesn't mean that just because they're Latin American, they're the next Rey Mysterio. No. You know, that's like saying, is this guy going to be the next Jushin Thunder Liger? Because he's from Japan. You know, it's bullshit like that. They should never be the next of someone. They should always be the first them. That's a line from The Rock, and it's a line that I always loved. And unfortunately, the comparisons to Dragon Lee are really bringing him down in a lot of fans' opinions. If they didn't make these comparisons, I guarantee you people would think he's awesome. But because they keep making these comparisons, he's never going to get ahead in wrestling because they all are going to look at him and go, well, Rey Mysterio was doing this by the time he was this age. He's not him. We think of LA Knight versus Grayson Waller. In a good match, LA Knight was able to pick up the win with the Blunt Force Trauma. Very fun match. I actually like these two pairing. They had a good feud at NXT for a little while, so it's cool to see LA Knight have this feud with Grayson Waller. We then get Jimmy Uso saying he's not done with LA Knight and he will face him next week. And apparently he said yeet, and Roman then called and said no yeet. Thought that was a little funny. We then get Damage Control of Charlotte Flair and Asuka. So it's Damage Control with Io Sky, Bayley, and Kairi Sane versus Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair, and Asuka. Unfortunately, this match would never get to really fruition as Asuka would then turn heel and join Damage Control. This was shocking. I heard that Asuka may turn heel and join Kairi Sane and Io Sky, but I didn't think it would be coming, one, so quick, and two, to join Damage Control. I thought it would be after Damage Control kind of breaks apart. What does this mean for Bayley? Apparently they might turn her face. You know, I would much rather see Bayley be a vindictive heel who's like, I created you, and now I have to destroy you. I would much prefer that. Just my opinion. Let's go Raw. As Raw kicked off with Cody Rhodes trying to coexist with his War Games team of Seth Rollins and Sami Zayn. And, of course, his tag team partner, Jey Uso. We would have the Judgment Day come out. And you would have JD McDonough and Dominic challenge Seth to a match. It would be accepted. And then we would get a tag team match where Seth Rollins and Sami Zayn would pick up the win. A brawl would come out. And you would actually have JD McDonough take basically almost a bullet for Damian Priest, kind of selling Damian Priest like, yeah, I belong here. Adam Pearce would come out and announce that everyone involved in the War Games match is banned from the arena for the Tag Team Championship main event. We then get Shinsuke Nakamura versus Otis, and an actually good match. I really enjoyed Otis's powerhouse here. Otis was able to kick out of 2 Kinshasas before finally falling to the third one. It actually went to show Otis's power, and I've really enjoyed that. I think Otis should be booked as a top main event guy. I mean, kind of like Kane was when he first debuted. Just my opinion. Shinsuke Nakamura would pick up the win with the third Kinshasa, though. We then get Tegan Nox versus Piper Niven. Natalya would accompany Tegan Nox, and Chelsea Green would come out with Piper Niven. Tegan Nox would pick up the win with the Shiny Wizard. And it was a good match. Tegan Nox actually looked strong, and it was a cool way to show, hey, Tegan Nox could be a giant slayer in this business. We then get Ludwig Kaiser versus Tommaso Ciampa. Weird match. Tommaso Ciampa would lose after Giovanni Vinci would get himself kicked out of ringside, then come back down and distract Tommaso Ciampa to allow Ludwig Kaiser to pick up the win. After this, we get Indy Hartwell versus Xia Li. Xia Li would pick up the win to a referee stoppage after a hard kick to Indy Hartwell's head. It was just a sell. There's no reason to get mad. Indy Hartwell's fine. Becky Lynch then came out and revealed that next week it will be Xia Li versus the man, Becky Lynch. We then get Nia Jax versus Raquel Rodriguez being made official for next week in a backstage segment. Yay. We then get The Miz versus Ivar in a awesome match. The Miz really showing off why he's been here for almost 20 years. The Miz really pulling off some moves we haven't seen him pull off in a long time, like his yes kicks or going back to the splashes he would hit from the top rope. It was cool to see Miz in this position. I really liked it. Thought it was awesome. Miz really showing off his stuff as he used to have. We then get Damian Priest telling JD McDonagh that he is officially a member of Judgment Day, handing JD his cut. After this, everyone would leave except for Finn and Damian to defend their titles against Cody and Jay. And we get that match next. It was a very good match. Judgment Day would pick up the win because of something very shocking, as you would have the referee get knocked down, and who would get involved? Because all of Judgment Day is kicked out of the arena, but someone isn't. Is that the Scottish psychopath, Drew McIntyre? Shattered dreams, man. Hits Jay with a claymore, rolls him into the ring. You have Damian Priest. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Drew McIntyre walks up, shakes Rhea Ripley's hand. I guess this means he is officially a part of Judgment Day. I don't know what to think of this. I think it's a cool heel turn, but I feel it's like it's a swerve for the sake of a swerve. It was cool. Enjoyed it. But I'm really looking more forward to Survivor Series. I know a lot of people are, by the way, giving shit about this, about the Survivor Series men's war game match. Why? It's actually a good story. I feel like people will get pissed off when something good happens. Like, we're fed so much shit in life. We're fed so much bullshit of, oh yeah, man, I can't believe they did this and then they did this. And then when we finally see something good, like the Judgment Day storyline or the Bloodline storyline, we're so blinded by bullshit that we can't look through and see the good things. We need to stop looking at the world in the rose-colored glasses and stop looking at it in the brown glasses, okay? We need to see the world for what it is. There's bullshit and there's good things. To those people saying that, in my opinion, this is bullshit, and that's your opinion. Your opinion is completely your way. My opinion, this is great storytelling. I'm enjoying every second of this. I think the Can They Coexist between Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes is actually working this time because they're playing it out for a while. And maybe they can. I think that would be the better end to the story of Seth and Cody actually coexisting. I think the Drew storyline has added to this. I think Judgment Day itself is awesome. It's just my opinion, but I think we need to stop giving them shit and let this shit play out. Alrighty. Let's move on to Survivor Series. November 27th, 2005, coming from the Joe Louis Arena in Detroit, Michigan, with an attendance of 15,000 and a buy rate of 400,000. The beginning of the end is what it was called. It kicked off with a Sunday night heat match between... What was this? Juventud Guerrera and Simon Dean in a singles match, a 4-man singles match. Nothing really right home about. Nice little match. Cool. You think of Booker T and Chris Benoit, and actually a very good match. This match would lead to a best of 7 series for the vacant United States Championship. It was a awesome best of 7 series. If you're looking for just great wrestling itself, go watch this best of 7 series between Booker T and Chris Benoit. Booker T would end up winning it and would end up becoming the new United States champion. If you're looking for awesome wrestling, these two had it in spades. I'll give credit where credit's due. We then get a singles match of Trish Stratus versus Melina for the Women's Championship. Trish Stratus with Mickie James, who was her stalker at the time, like a weird kind of stalkerish storyline. And Melina with Joey Mercury and Johnny Nitro, a.k.a. Johnny Mundo, a.k.a. John Morrison, a.k.a. Johnny Impact, a.k.a. Johnny Elite, a.k.a. aka Johnny Million Names. And if you're thinking that's a joke, I kid you not, he has actually gone by that before. Trish Stratus would pick up the win and would retain her title in a 6-minute match. This would more be building to WrestleMania 22, where you would have Mickie James win the title from Trish Stratus. We then get the last remnants of Evolution breaking up, of Triple H has lost the World Heavyweight title to Batista, who is now a red hot babyface, and you would have Randy Orton going doing his thing, feuding with The Undertaker at the time. Triple H kind of losing his mind of like, they're not better than me because they beat me. They're not better than me because they beat me. Who's better than me? And Ric Flair finally just going like, I can't be around this anymore. Leading to this last man standing match, which was awesome. I really did enjoy it. Triple H would pick up the win in a 27-minute classic, in my opinion. We then get John Cena versus Kurt Angle for the WWE Championship match with Daivari as the special guest referee. I always thought that one was weird. John Cena would pick up the win over Kurt Angle. It was a great match. These two had amazing chemistry. Kurt Angle would say that John Cena was one of his favorite opponents, and John Cena would return the favor completely. So it's cool to watch these two go at it. Really do enjoy it. It's a 13-minute match. John Cena picking up the win over Kurt Angle to retain his title. We then get Theodore Long versus Eric Bischoff. Basically the two GMs going at it. That was a fun little thing. Theodore Long would pick up the win in a 5-minute kind of bullshit match. Still fun to watch, but still bullshit. We then get your 5-on-5 Survivor Series match of Batista, Bobby Lashley, John Bradshaw, Layfield, Randy Orton, and Rey Mysterio on Team SmackDown, Team Blue. And then Team Red, Team Raw of Big Show, Carlito, Chris Masters, Kane, and Shawn Michaels. It would start off with Shawn Michaels eliminating Bobby Lashley, Kane getting eliminated by Batista, Batista then getting eliminated by the Big Show, and then Rey Mysterio eliminating the Big Show, all in kind of like a 7-minute span. No more eliminations for 3 minutes until Carlito would be eliminated by JBL. It would then come down to Chris Masters versus Rey Mysterio, where Rey Mysterio would pick up the win. Shawn Michaels would then eliminate Rey Mysterio and eliminate JBL. Unfortunately, this wasn't the end of JBL, as you would have JBL try to go for a steel chair, but Shawn Michaels would super kick it into JBL's face, which was awesome. And then Shawn Michaels would get RKO'd by Randy Orton, making Randy Orton the sole survivor and SmackDown winning. You would have the announcers for Raw who were actually going, God damn it, no, no, God damn it, no, which was awesome. I love that. Team SmackDown would come in and hoist Randy up on their shoulders. He'd be celebrating. But a couple months before this, he burned a casket with The Undertaker inside. Who The Undertaker he'd been feuding with since WrestleMania, had a great match at WrestleMania. Okay match at SummerSlam, as Randy Orton has gone on to record to say was ruined by the makeup they put on his father, and said that his 3-year-old daughter could have done a better job at makeup. Thought that was funny. But as Randy Orton is celebrating with his team, anybody else here gone? Oh, there goes oh shit. A casket comes out and is put on the stage. Randy Orton's looking at it in fear. Lightning strikes the casket. It's on fire. The door goes flying off as The Undertaker returns, stares down Randy Orton. Randy Orton's literally selling the fear so badly, yelling at his team, put me down, put me down, put me down. Then hangs on the ropes, showing the fear as he knows, shit, The Undertaker's back and he's coming right for me. I thought that was awesome. Undertaker then comes in and clears the ring of everyone, beats the shit out of every member of the SmackDown roster. No one was safe. Undertaker gives the next slice. This would lead to an amazing Hell in a Cell match between them and Armageddon. If you're looking for an awesome Hell in a Cell match, go watch it. This was a great feud and has been chronicled on WWE Untold. between the Legend Killer and the Undertaker. Awesome match. If you're looking for something fun to watch, go watch The Untold. It'll tell you everything behind the scenes, some of the stuff I just said, and even other things. Survivor Series 2005 is actually a fun one to go back and watch for me. I really enjoy it. I think it's a very good, very well put WWE show. So if you're looking for something fun, go back and watch it. Next week we'll go 2006, just because I always like the 2006 design with the skull. I could use a drink. How about a surfer on abstinence shot? I had to give you that SS for Survivor Series. 1 part absinthe, 1 part coconut rum, 1 part pineapple juice. This is a heavy drink, so be careful. You're going to combine everything in the shaking glass with ice, shake well, straight into a shot glass, and drink. Please do not drink and drive. Do not drink too many of these. This is a tough shot. Do not drink alcohol if you're under 21 in the United States, and do not overconsume on alcohol. Now reading from the Book of Rules. A letter from Bill Jameson's claim adjuster. We have reviewed your claim thoroughly, and are afraid there is no clause in your insurance policy that covers your Corvette being filled with cement. Practically, given that you were parked so close to the construction zone, if anything, we could try to classify this incident as an act of God. But as far as we can tell, Stone Cold Steve Austin isn't God. He's just very good at being bad. We hope you understand. A reading from the Book of Rules. And now, everybody, it's time for the Baldroid of the Week. Baldroid of the Week this week is Lexus King. Sounds like a very bad car model that you would get in the 90s. And just like the 90s, this gimmick should not be here to stay. Lexus King is not very good. He is very bad at promos. He takes pauses when pauses aren't needed. He's sitting there trying to build drama when you know he can't. His in-ring work needs a lot more work and a lot more polishing before he's ready to step in the ring. There's so much left for him to do, as he is the son of Flying Brian Pillman. I wish there was more I could give to him, but there's still a lot that he needs to work on before he can truly be a great in his ring like his father was. So for that, congratulations. Here's an award for you. One of the first you'll win, I'm sure.
Uh-oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening. I have been the Big Guy. This has been Wrestling Made Simple. I hope you have a great week in wrestling, and I hope you enjoy it. Let's keep building to Survivor Series next week, 2006. Have a great week in wrestling. Good night, folks.